Bad Boys Texas, episode number 3. Let's get it. It picks up where episode 2 left off. Anthony and Chef D fighting. They break it up, push Anthony to another room in the house. Carry on. Who else was it? Was it Carry on? Was it Raz B? They all went to check on. It might have been Raz B. They went to go check on Anthony, see what was up, see if he was alright. While that's going on, in the other room where the fight happened at, Banger says it one more time. Chef D a bitch for doing Anthony how he did him. This time, Chef D fought Anthony head up, and Anthony just lost. But it was not a fair fight because Anthony had a cast on one wrist already, you know. But anyway, Banger let Chef D know how he felt about it. And then they start to go back and forth. And then Big Lou jumps in and says some things to Banger like, you on some weird vibes. Why you keep taking up for Anthony and all this and that. So Banger and Lou start going back and forth with the mouth. Next thing you know, them two square up to fight. And fucking Chef D sneaks Banger and punching him all in the back of the head. And then he in the confessional talking about, I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Really? You blacked out? It looked to me like you keep sneaking people and trying to get a moment on TV. That's what you want to be known for? I thought you was a chef, like a cook or something. You want to be known for sneaking people? Like, you doing some bitch mean shit. Especially for the fact that Banger is smaller than you. Yeah, he talking stuff and he standing his ground and standing 10 toes down for what he said about how he felt about you jumping Anthony. But yo, you way bigger than him. Like, way bigger. And then Lou and Banger go at it like 4 times. And I feel like they both was, I don't know. If Banger hits would have landed, Lou would have been knocked out. Them hits looked like it was a lot of power behind them punches he was throwing. And he wasn't windmilling. He was throwing hard-ass punches. It's just that Lou was getting licks and Banger was hitting the air. And then the 4th time, Lou jumps up, do some fucking Karate Kid, Mortal Kombat shit, a finishing him move, and kick punch Banger, and Banger falls to the ground, and he get on top, and he get the pound on him a little bit. He get up, he still trying to get his lick back, and Raz B like, you alright? And I think Raz B was like, come on, like, he was saying it in a way like, come on, man, like, haven't you had enough already? Like, that's how he was saying it. And then him and Banger start going at it because Banger, like, I wasn't even dealing with you. Banger still mad. Banger want to get his lick back on Lou. But I'm like, no, you need to get your lick back on Lou and you need to get your lick back on Chef D. The rest of the episode, Banger is still feeling the way and still talking about getting his lick back on Lou. Like, yo, you need to get your lick back on Lou and you need to get your lick back on Chef D because Chef D first snuck you. And I think that might have got you a little discombobulated, and that's why you ain't do what I thought you was going to do, what I felt in my heart ever since last week. I felt like you was going to whip Lou butt, but you didn't. And I think it's because of what happened when D snuck you. So anyway, as they handling that, somebody bangs at the door. It's some of Anthony's friends. First of all, so everybody upset, they fussing, they trying to get out the door to Anthony's friends. And they fussing like, how do his friends know where we at? How did they get to just walk up to the door and knock on the fucking back door to come in and try to take up for Anthony? So everybody like, it's Anthony's fault. Anthony texted them and gave them the address and all that and everything. That's what they thinking. That's what they saying. I'm going to say it was production. Anthony in the other room still talking to Relly. And he like, those my friends. And he talking to a producer too. Like, they're my friends. Let me just go ahead and leave. And so, because if I don't leave with them, it's not going to calm down. And they driving my car. And I wanted to get them out of here before any more mess goes down or whatever, right? And Carry on, he heard the commotion going on when Chef D, Banger, and all of them was fighting or whatever. So he left, and when he came in the room, it was Lou and Banger going at it. So next thing you know, the guys finally make it outside. JB hurry and runs over to the car and attacks one of Anthony's friends. Punch him up give him a quick 3-piece real quick. And he talking that shit like, yeah, I handled one of them niggas. I caught him. You don't come to nobody's house unannounced and all that. Like, you put us in danger. Like, what you doing? So anyway, Jonathan tries to run and get over there too. He hit his fucking leg and tore his damn leg up. His leg hurt. When they finally get the guys to leave, they pushing everybody to leave, and they telling Jonathan to go ahead upstairs. At this time, Banger never went outside. Banger still pissed about the fight he had with Lou. He goes to bed. The next day come, they talk about they gonna go to some strip club called Area 29 that Relly is taking them to, or whatever. Jonathan excited about it, JB excited about it, or whatever. They give us a scene. No, before I even get to that, let me just say this. Anthony's friends made it to that house because the producers let them. Them getting there wasn't on Anthony at all. And Jonathan and the rest of y'all should know this about reality TV. Ain't nothing going down without the producers okaying that bullshit. We all know that wherever they filmed this at, it was a gated community. Even if, like Anthony was saying, maybe they followed us here. Even if they followed y'all, how did they get in the gate? Because y'all went through the gate. How did they get in the gate? What was the code? Who gave them the code to get in? Because I'm sure when you came, Anthony it was a producer in the car with you. I ain't buying that. Anthony texted his friends and gave them the information to come up there and attack y'all. I ain't buying it. It was the producers. They got to make a show. And we all know Bad Boys and Bad Boys Club, Jocelyn's Cabaret, everything on Zeus is about fighting. Okay? That's why we watch it. Anyway, next day come, JB going up the steps. No, Prince going up the steps that night before, talk about how he gonna get up and work out. Carry on like, hit me up. I'm trying to work out too in the morning. But we get JB and Prince out there shooting hoops. It's their scene. Here come Relly with a hat with braids on it. Talking about Jonathan made it for him. He's just a flirting with Prince. Prince is basically laughing it off and kind of like ignoring him. They talk about what happened the night before with the fight and how they felt about it. JB doing his 1-2, talking his shit about how he ran up on a guy and he know he lumped up and all this and that. He proud of himself, real proud that he snuck somebody. And I guess some people will look at it like, well, shit, they ain't had no business bringing their tails to the house and they ain't had to worry about getting snuck. Point taken. But Prince said it to JB, but they was some queens. And I'm with Prince. Like, you don't get no points. Even though they guys too, you don't get no points for appearing like a very masculine heterosexual guy. Because I don't know what your sexual preference is. But you look, like Prince said, like, they were some queens. Like, why? You shouldn't even gloat in the fact that you hit him. He was a queen. What was it for you to do that to them? And I'm with Prince on that. I really am. So, after they finished talking their stuff. Oh, wow. After they finished talking their stuff. So as I was saying, JB and Prince, they just go ahead and decide that they're going to go in the house and start getting ready for the club. They excited to be going to the strip club or whatever, right? So we see who come out there and talk. It was somebody outside talking. But basically, they asked Orlando what he thought about what happened the night before. And he said he was just looking like, wow, this is really going down. Wow, wow, wow. And then Ransby, he talking, because I was ready to run up on them niggas like I really feel that way. Because that was unsafe. Like, that could have been anybody came in here and got us. They could have brought their goons. It could have been some show enough thugs to come here and get us last night. You know what I mean? Because they mad about what happened to Anthony. That ain't had to be them guys like that. It could have been worse. And so we see Prince saying, you know what? I get both sides. Personally, it was unsafe for them to be able to come up to the back door, knock on the door, and say, come outside or whatever. That was unsafe. But I still see the other side of my peoples. They gonna ride for me. My friend came to a place, back to a place with some people that had already jumped him the night before. And I'm coming to do what I gotta do to stand up for and to help try to protect my friends so my friend can get their lick back. He was like, I would do the same thing. He said, but so I see both sides. I really like Prince on here thus far. I like him. And we see Raz B like, yeah, because I was ready. I was lit. I was heated. I would have, I was ready to take one of them or whatever. I'm just like, okay, Raz B, whatever. So then we see Jonathan and Raz B in the house sitting across from each other. And first of all, Raz B was working on some rap. He talking about he trying to finish this song so he can perform it at the club they're going to that night. I'm like, really? So Jonathan said, let me hear it. So he started saying some of the words. Jonathan started throwing money up. When Raz B stopped and went to go pick up the money, Jonathan said, put my fucking money down. And then he was like, what was up with you and Banger? Like, what happened with you and Banger last night? What y'all get into it for? So Raz B was like, I was trying to. He was like, I really don't have no problem with the dude or whatever, but I was just trying to help him out. Like, him and Lou had went at it 4 times already. And I was asking him, is he done? You know? So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna call Banger out here and y'all can squash it. Because we shouldn't be, now it's kumbaya. It's a brotherhood. And we should all be in here and feel safe together. Or it's a brotherhood now that Anthony is gone. Whatever. Jonathan calls Banger out there. Banger come and sit next to Raz B. Raz B tried to dap him up. He said, no, I'm not shaking your hand right now. And Raz B like, okay, that's the energy you want to keep, that's fine. And Jonathan says, so what's the issue? Like, can't y'all just squash it? And Banger's like, no. Because I felt like I was already being jumped on by them two. And then here you come putting your mouth in it or whatever. Brett talking to Raz B, he was like, and I really feel like I should beat your ass right now. I'm like, well, damn. And Raz B is like, well, that's a real disrespectful. And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, it do. But also, wasn't you just talking like you about that action, like you about throwing them hands? So why you quiet down when Banger said he should pop you? And Banger was saying, because I got because I got jumped last night or whatever, I feel like you took that as a like, oh, well, I can do something to him too since they already beat him up. I can get him. And he was like, and it ain't even like that or whatever. And Raz B was just sitting there looking, and then Jonathan was like, well, you got all the smoke for him, but you got whooped by Lou 4 times last night. And it's the fact that Jonathan said it like that. And Banger did not have that same energy he had towards Raz B towards Jonathan when Jonathan said that shit. All he said was, yeah, and I feel like I want to fight right now. I want to get my lick back on Lou. Or whatever. They get dressed. They ready to go to the club. They get into the bus. They on the bus. They say that, when they go out, it's one for all for one for all. If somebody throw hands, everybody jump in there because they got to protect each other as a united front and out in the streets. But what they do inside the house amongst each other, fighting each other and all that, that's just what it is. I'm like, oh, really? So Banger just sitting there still looking, and he's still in the confessional talking about he looking at Lou, and he want to get his fair when he want to fight Lou some more. He want to get his look back. I get it. I get it. They go to the club. The club look like it's a real good time. Towards the end, we see, first of all, they get in there. Orlando was like, I'm murdered. That's just how he said it. I'm murdered. So he headed to a little corner in the back, in a booth or something. And all the other guys out there throwing money, having themselves a good time. We see JB, they started playing this song. And it was like gang on gang. Something had a real nice little beat to it. And I was wondering, is that JB real song? Because at the moment when they played that song, JB was on the stage with a mic in his hand saying something and doing like this. Prince like it's good vibes. He in a confessional like it's good vibes. But I don't make the kind of music that go in a environment like this, so I ain't gonna perform. And we see Raspy get up there and perform, but in the meantime they still playing that song they was playing when we saw JB. So I'm not sure whose song that was. And that's the second time I heard a song on here that I was like, ooh, that's nice. Kind of like the little groove. But, the episode goes, get ready to go off. The boys go back to the bus. They come out the club, they going back to the bus. Somehow Raz B, they made it to on top of on the roof of the bus. And they like, yeah, they hyping him up and all that kind of stuff. And then they tell him to get down. I meant to tell y'all, as they getting off the bus to go to the club, right? Banger was like, shit, I want to get my lick back right now, but nope, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to wait until tomorrow. And then we see them getting off the bus, and he gets off the bus right in the back of Lou and has a chance to do sneak Lou. But I'm thinking Banger is an upfront kind of person, and he ain't with that sneaking stuff, because that's why he was really mad at Chef D. And he should be mad at what the stuff with Anthony, but he really should be mad and trying to get his look back at Chef D for popping him when he was facing Lou and getting it in with Lou. But anyway, it goes off and we see the previews for next week. Next week looks like Banger and Lou is going to get to shoot the fair one. And it looked like Banger going to bang Lou up this time. But we're going to see. They start arguing on the bus somewhere, and Chef D jumps on Raspy at this point. And honestly, I would say that when Chef D does this, whenever it happens, this would be the second time that he did come at somebody face to face and didn't sneak them. Because all the other times, he's been sneaking people, getting in on somebody else's stuff. And this whole episode, Lou kept running off at the mouth about Banger jumping in other people's business and other people's fights. And let them square up and do it. Let the two people who getting into it get into it without you putting your mouth in it. But isn't that the very same thing you did on the first episode when Jonathan beat up Anthony and then Lou jumped in? I mean, when Jonathan beat up Anthony and then D jumped in, you ran over there to tell Jonathan what Relly was saying. So you was putting your mouth in that. Isn't that the same thing? Pot calling the kettle son. Anyway, y'all, that's it. I see y'all next week for episode number 4 of Bad Boys of Texas. Don't forget to get in the comments. Tell me what y'all thought. And who y'all favorite so far. I'm really liking the fact that Prince stays neutral and just plays the background. And when things are said to him is when he says what he needs to say. But I like the fact that he playing in the background and just chilling. Because he was right. He was right in his assessments. JB, you shouldn't be gloating about fighting that boy. Because the boy appeared to be very feminine. And why are you gloating about being like a masculine presenting person and tough person and saying that you can box, you can fight, you used to box, and then you going up there beating up somebody like that? And it's not like they was paying attention. Like, you, from the footage we see, it looks like you snuck them. You didn't come at them face first. You came at them like this, like from the back and the side, and was beating them. So I like Prince's assessment. I like the fact that Relly kept messing with him on that basketball court, talking about, don't be looking at me like you want to. He said, no, you want me to be looking at you like that. And I'm not paying you no mind. I loved it. Loved it. But again, I'll see y'all next week. Peace.